I'm Sharon Taz. While you're watching breaking news coverage on Spectrum News. Evan, this is the second time Republicans have brought articles of impeachment against Mayorkas.
Right, and this is sort of just round one. Now that they did vote to impeach in the House, it would head to the Senate, where in all likelihood it's going to hit a brick wall. That's not only because Democrats control the chamber, but also it's a much bigger hurdle. They need a two-thirds vote to convict somebody. So in all likelihood, this impeachment is not going to lead to conviction or removal. That being said, it is going to force the Senate to hold an impeachment trial. It's going to completely freeze any other business happening in the Senate. And on top of that, politically, all the attention is now going to be focused on the border. Republicans, of course, think that this could be a really big winning issue for them. You hit it. It's a historic moment that we're talking about. There's not been an impeachment of a cabinet secretary for 148 years. 1876 was the last time that we saw something like this. Now, it was a rocky road to get here. They had a failed impeachment vote just last week. That was in part because the House Majority Leader, Steve Scalise, was out receiving cancer treatment. And on top of that, they had 3 Republicans who voted no against the impeachment. They still thought they had a chance, though. That's when a Democrat, Al Green, a representative, showed up last minute unexpectedly on a wheelchair in the hospital gown, coming straight from the hospital where he was getting treatment, and he cast that decisive vote to lead to that measure failing. Now, though, with Scalise coming back, they had the vote, and you mentioned it, this did pass.
And Evan, all of this comes as the Senate passed a $95 billion aid package for Ukraine and Israel. But it doesn't include money for the border.
We're talking about $60 billion for Ukraine, $14 billion for Israel, $8 billion for Taiwan, and as I mentioned, it does nothing with the border. It passed in a bipartisan fashion. We're talking about 70 yes votes, 70 senators saying yes, 29 saying no. That included 22 Republicans. But the big question is now going to be in the House, where the House Speaker's got a really big decision here about how to proceed. That's because many of his members are against more funding for Ukraine. The former President Donald Trump is against more funding for Ukraine. Biden, speaking from the White House today, urging the House to act, saying supporting this bill is standing up to Putin.